Thank you. Ed, did you agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it didn't make any difference. You two guys did, so.
Well, I still want your input.
I'm just hoping we don't have any bad kids, because I can see right now this year we're already over, so.
Like I said, a lot of it's due to two particular kids. They spent some,
budget's going to go down.
but like I said, again, you have the state law change where I don't think we'll be sending as many kids to JJ.
How did that change?
It lowered, really restricted us on what we're detaining for now.
Is that a bad thing?
In my opinion, yes.
Okay.
Yes. You know, and it's just a cycle of things. You know, when I first started, we built, when they had the detention center in Waukene, they went from anything from a runaway to, you know, minor crimes. Now that crime's going to have to, you know, essentially it's going to have to be a person felony for them to go to juvenile detention.
Maybe we need to make some resolutions when these kids do something not bad enough for them to go to jail. Maybe we ought to have them do some community service. What do you think about that, Eric?
Done a little in my day.
I know, I was going to say I'd still be probably doing this.
Didn't hurt me.
No, it doesn't hurt you. All right, what do you guys have? I'm sorry.
I helped you.
Oh, no, I just didn't know if dispatch was next or not. Or
Sure, I needed it.
I can find if I can find dispatch.
Should be right before sheriff.
Maybe you
it's
guys
back
skip
in-
around, I'm sorry.
What
No, it's
are
the
you
way
looking
we-
for?
Dispatch.
Dispatch?
Dispatch, mine ain't
I just
right.
thought why Eric and I were both here, maybe.
Dispatch and computers should be right before
Oh,
the
well, I
sheriff.
just had computers.
Yeah, I want to tell you right in the middle of most of your stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to, I'm not involved in
Jerry did both of those budgets, so they should be. Did you copy this sheet on a different, because I've got the bottom of
Oh, I don't.
the sheet cut off
I got it.
I don't know.
on
Towards the
dispatch.
back. It's kind of printed sideways. This way.
It's for your viewing pleasure.
We did Medicare today. Guys, I'm lucky to be even talking. I'm not going, "Bleh."
Is there one at my iPhone 6 Plus, is there?
Yeah,
Eyes
I
getting
don't like
bad?
those. I don't like.
Getting a little old?
I'm not that much older than you.
Yeah, well, I need a new one, so. I
It
understand.
is sad though, because I have to.
Oh, I know.
I figured that I haven't been to the eye doctor in so many years. I can't even.
I had a chipped tooth this last summer. Went to the dentist. He goes, "So where have you been going all these years? You haven't come and seen me." I said, "Nowhere. My record says the last time you came in here was 1995. I said, "Yep, that's the last time I've been to the dentist."
Well, see,
Right on schedule.
Right on schedule.
my dad didn't Novocaine me when I needed something, so I didn't go unless it was an emergency. But you know, my worst patient is him.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Did you tell him getting even?
Yeah.
He says, remember to know.
Oh, no wonder it's been sideways.
Pretty viewing pleasure.
Yeah. Didn't you hear that earlier?
Yes, yes, I heard you.
See how much easier that is? You are welcome.
Thank you. I wrote extra different. I didn't. We met with you. I take it.
We went over a
8-hour
little bit.
shifts. Went to 8-hour shifts. Salary. Did we discuss hourly or salary? Did we come up with that conclusion?
For me,
Well,
that's the question about me. It's kind of the same premise as what you were discussing with Carol. So if I'm sitting in there like last Friday, are you paying me hourly or salary or?
you were here after hours last night too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, 5:30. I'll be here all weekend.
I think salary is going to be the best for
For you guys, yes.
Yeah.
For Eric,
But if that's, and you didn't answer this question earlier, but
Yeah.
so are you going to comp time that then?
I don't know. What's your thoughts, guys?
On what?
Hourly or salary?
We ain't got enough people to
Hourly.
do that. You're just out there, man. You just,
For the employees, no.
No, for Eric.
Oh, for him, salary.
Even when I'm working in the dispatch?
Well, I think I think this needs to be clear in the policy handbook too. If that's the case, then he should notify us in advance and we approve it. I don't see a problem with that, do you guys?
how the hell's he gonna do that if somebody calls in sick and he has to sit in on dispatch because
Or if there's an
everybody's sick?
emergency and he has to come in on a weekend, I don't
Yeah.
know how we can.
How's he gonna call everybody?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good answer. It either needs to be one or the other, in my opinion.
What do you want?
Well,
He
I'd
wants
want hourly.
See, as an appointed person, that poses a dilemma. You would be different from everybody else.
40 hours. I know.
40.
Yeah, 40 minimum, I know.
When did that happen?
Oh, I don't have eyes up here all the time, man.
I think you need to stay consistent with your appointed department heads.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Whether you're going to make them salary or hourly, what you do for one. I
Everybody
think
else's
you should do.
salary.
Everybody else's salary, yeah.
And like Cody would be salaried.
Well, he's elected, but,
Well, elected officials would be salaried.
yeah,
Department heads would be
Salaried.
salaried. And everybody else should be hourly. I
Yeah.
believe that's Fair Labor Standards.
yeah.
Okay.
So are you going to pay me hourly to do IT work then? If it's fair labor standards.
We'll let you take off every other Wednesday in a month that ends in X
33.
for
33 days and X. Eric, I think you're getting rid
I
of
think we need to find a way to, it's, like right now with Mike, I'm sorry, I almost discussed an employee medical, but with an employee having extended leave for medical, Eric's covering a lot of shifts, which drives him from his standard work week, extends. I mean, he's gonna work 5 days this week on the regular week, and then, and not because he's just sitting in his office, he's got a lot of things to do, but then he's gonna work this weekend. I think salary's fine, but then we need to come up a way, as we talked about consistent, if you're gonna expect consistency out of this department head, that they're gonna average 40 hours a week, and, Eric's gonna average something else, that might be consistent, but it's not fair to Eric that somebody makes the same amount as him working only 40 hours a week while he's working some weeks that are 60 to 80 hours. So we need to find a way to compensate him.
When I was in federal civil service, I was salaried. If I had to work overtime, I had to have my immediate supervisor go to the second supervisor to get approval, and then I got paid overtime.
Would this work for the compromise,
So-
Rodney, is if he has to work overtime,
Yeah,
he submits that to me, and before the payroll period ends, I submit that to the clerk to send to you guys, and then when you guys sit down to do the pay, you
Yeah.
approve it.
yeah,
Would that work?
That
Is
would
we do a
work.
salary, and
That
then
would work.
Any hour above, I approve to send to you guys, as the first line approval, I say, yes, I approve this, this isn't wasteful, and you guys approve it when you do, but I don't know if that works for you, Deb, doing the
But-
payroll, because you have the
This
checks
is with
cut
the hourly
beforehand.
overtime.
Well, with the new time clock system, the department head is going to have to
Well,
lock their
this is
time
what
down. And once
he
they
got
lock their
paid
time down,
for 8
it will
hours.
be
You
in
divide
the
that by
payroll
8
system.
hours.
So we'll have time to do
And
it.
it's $20.54.
Maybe it's a
hour of
scenario
overtime.
where if he's logging in as a shift,
Mm-hmm.
maybe he gets a shift pay because he's working a shift, but is he also working, what does that do to his job as department head?
It makes him quite, he could still do some department head stuff, but it makes him quite inefficient, because if he's on the phone with AT&T talking about the server or, something like that, getting something else arranged, he can't have that conversation that long, because those conversations sometimes are 2-hour phone calls. He can't have that and answer a phone every 5 minutes of somebody, is Cody in? Can I get Darryl to come by my house? Can you know, I mean, there's no way that he can do, now some of it, like the paperwork part of it, doing scheduling and stuff like that, he can do while he's in dispatch, but a lot of the, I'd say, I'm throwing words out. He could do the $4 an hour part of his job, but he can't do the $100 an hour part of his job. Would be the way to explain. Not that he gets paid either one of those, but to put it in terms, it'd be really hard for him to do the technical part of the job while he's working a dispatch shift. In my opinion, am I right on that? Because he spends a lot of time at the interface with the next gen on the phone with AT&T. He can't be doing that because that's completely across the room from the 911 phone.
Once we get this new system, that's going to cut down IT down dramatically, isn't it?
I hope.
You hope so.
But I think, and Eric may disagree, I'll let him give his opinion, but I think the compromise is pay him salary if he has to work in dispatch, and if those hours, because he couldn't cut back on the, there might be a time he knows he's going to work Saturday and Sunday, and unlike this week where he's busy every day this week, he might be able to come into me and say, Eric, or Cody, I'm going to be gone, I'm going to have to work Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to be gone Thursday and Friday. And I say, okay, and we're fine. We end up with 40 hours. But then there's weeks like this week where he doesn't have the time to take Thursday and Friday off, so it's going to be overtime. I approve that, send it down, and you guys compensate him for that. Do you feel that is a compromise, Eric, or is that just me?
I think it's a possibility, but I mean, the way it is now, I'm generally here at 7:30, and most of the time I don't get out here before 5:30, so you're looking at overtime every week.
But
Or I'm leaving early on Friday, which we don't want to get into that habit because we've been there with previous directors and supervisors, and we don't want that.
Thoughts? Ed, Rodney? This may be more of a temporary deal if we get this new system.
Well, but for a time clock, we got to make a decision.
Yeah.
Well, and he can log in either as the dispatch director, or he can log in as a dispatcher if he's actually doing a
Yeah.
dispatch shift on the weekend.
Okay.
So if he does dispatching that is not between 8 and 5, he logs in as a dispatcher. Is that what you're saying, Deb?
Does that work for
For
you?
you to get salary?
So if I log in between 8 and 5, and I'm just getting straight.
That's part of your director pay.
Okay.
That's part of your duties as a director is you work between 8 and 5, whether you're sitting at the council or whether console or whether you're doing something else.
Right.
That's your salary.
Yeah.
It's only the ones that happen, the dispatch hours that happen before or after the hours of 8 to 5 that you'll be compensated for. Because
That would
You're
be a
getting
good way
paid.
to track it. That works for me.
because we can say this is temporary with an employee having health issues, but I've known from working here 10 years, it's always a cycle. You always have at least once a year you have either somebody quit, get fired, or get sick in a department. So it's going to happen once a year, minimal, on the average from my experience. So it's not like it's this year and we won't have to worry about it in 2017. It's going to continually happen.
Suggestions? Is that the way that you suggested, do it that way?
Yeah, I thought that plan worked, because that way it can be tracked with the computer and
All right.
he
Do
gets
you want to
paid.
jot that
everybody's happy.
down?
If that, yeah.
No, I'm fine
Are
with
you
that.
decided, are you?
Yeah, because it'll have to go into the policy handbook that way.
All right, we need to move on and get some of these done, guys. You requested went up a little bit because you're going to go to 8-hour shifts, which is going to cost more, correct?
We haven't decided on the 8-hour shifts. That was just something we talked about, and you jotted that
The
down.
reason the change is so big on that is you guys already made the budget
Yeah.
for 2016 and then gave that significant raise to to
Yeah.
the dispatchers after you'd wrote that number down.
Right.
So
This-
this reflects the real, what we
That's
did
kind of
was.
like the sheriff's department
Yeah,
as well.
what we did
Yeah.
is we took the average pay of a dispatcher
Right.
times 8,760, because there's 8,760 hours in a year. We have to have somebody sitting in that chair 8,760 hours a year. So all that number is the average pay of a dispatcher times 8,760 hours.
Okay.
It's simple.
And then
math.
under contractual, we got one extra contract coming, that's why that went up.
Yep.
Commodities, I've got different printer, is why that went up $750. Then, of course, we got the flippity flop down below.
Yeah, you guys had me move that around after I,
Yeah, I've got,
Why so much in capital outlay and equipment reserve for next year?
it's planning for the budget cap. I mean,
And the new system, didn't you have some of that added on there for some more of your
Yeah.
stuff?
the next gen's going to require some maintenance as we go through, and plus all the new equipment that we buy as we go. That's what that stuff
but we
was.
could see that number go down next year if the equipment's going good. We just have
Right.
we have our equipment reserve just in case something crashes.
Yep.
And I think the big thing is when you look at dispatch stuff, it's not.
Two new
Tra-
TVs, two new switches, two new printers.
Well, and okay, I have to be careful what I say. I'm trying to think how to say. Cole's not here. There's some of this that I have to find out, but we can't say that, so we have to put it in the budget. And does that make sense? We
Yeah.
can't get caught. We're not committing a crime, but we can't say that that's going to happen. You know, and have.
Smell the beans.
What's that?
Smell the beans.
Yeah.
Beans all over the table.
But anyways, my original thought, where I was going down my thought path, sometimes I get plot lost and taking over the trail, is when you replace something at dispatch, it's not a $20 item here, $20 item there. You know, when we had to fix the radio upstairs for the law channel, it was a little tiny box this size, and it was $2,200. I mean, that stuff, that electronic stuff is expensive.
Yeah.
And one thing is, we went through the past budgets and started looking at the past budgets. It seemed like dispatch was always teetering on the side of going over budget or did go over budget. And I think it's because nobody respects the fact that this stuff's expensive. You know, I mean, it blows my mind the stuff that we got with the next gen that AT&T paid for with the next gen contract. But you look that stuff up and see how much that one little box cost, and you're looking at a $25,000 box. Now, I think
This big.
Yeah, I think it's prudent
That's all
to
they
have
got.
money in the reserve for that, because, like I said, we're not talking about nuts and bolts or replacing a motor blade. This is some high dollar stuff, and we're talking about people's lives being at stake if it doesn't work.
Well, and the fact is, without any of that, you don't need him or EMS because you got no way to get them.
Dispatches equipment reserve last year had nothing. This year, they'll have $1,000. So I'd have to say that's not unreasonable.
Because like I said, you get into that stuff, and it is not cheap.
None of it's cheap.
Sometimes it's cheap bill.
That's why you need another
And
one.
what else, we just ask you about warranties,
Well, that was different stuff.
stuff that's better quality, okay?
Yeah.
That little kid in China
Buy it.
saw
Good
that
stuff.
together needs-
Good stuff.
needs that money.
We're paying the transport cost is what we're doing, not paying that little kid's salary.
It's a big boat.
So what are you guys thinking on everything, the reserve and the outlay?
Well, considering that all he'll have in equipment will be $1,000,
We gotta get more in there than that, so, yeah, I'm good with it.
I'll go with that.
Okay, my number is at 15 and 20 then,
20,000.
and 15,000, or is it 1,500?
What are you looking at?
million.
I'm right here.
That's 15,000.
15,000.
Couldn't remember if it was 15,000 or 150.
Yeah.
16,
15,000.
That's what,
15, okay.
From here, it looked like 150,000.
Yeah, I think that might be 150,000.
No, it's not. It just, you
You sure?
got to learn how to read my writing.
Marty wearing a collar, I don't need on.
Be bad.
Probably.
Okay.
Your bottom is that bottom number.
245 buck. No.
750. isn't it?
750, isn't it? Yeah.
This is going to turn me gray, guys.
Turn you gray.
Yeah.
We're the ones sitting over here asking for it.
Yeah, you guys are asking for it.
All right. More nerve-wracking to be on this side of the table than that side of the table. We're like puppies. With really sharp-pointed
Hey,
teeth.
we're way easier than some of the commissioners has been here in the past. I can tell
I'll
you that.
agree.
Thanks.
Used to give us a chance to defend our numbers.
You on the computer now?
Yep. Yeah, are you done with me?
No, you did such a good job on that. I thought you'd sit in on the computer.
I have no idea what you even asked for in the computer budget.
Okay.
I gotta go do this.
Okay.
Thanks, Craig.
Good luck.
Thank you guys for listening to us.
You'll get the bill in the
One
mail.
way and one the other way.
I did?
Well, yeah, this one's rectangular.
That's
Why
nice.
didn't you turn it sideways?
Oh, I didn't print that one. The other one I printed. I messed it up. Sorry.
700 to match it, 412.
I think,
Well, some of the computer cover the costs of what that deal we're doing is for this year anyway.
yeah. But I have put that, there's going to be one recurring fee plus some internet service. I've put that into there so that those changes should be reflected in that budget there. Because there's going to be some more cost involved to make the savings, obviously.
There's always cost involved.
Yes. So if we upped our MIS circuit to $2,000 a month, which would be 100 meg, we're at 20 meg now for 1,084, I think. So that'd be one of the things that's in that budget. And if Matt comes on and does the sonic wall and manages that sonic wall for us, I think he's got a recurring fee of 300 and some. I've got his quote upstairs, so I figured that in there too. And then some of the stuff that'll stop coming out of there are the 2 DSL circuits upstairs, and there's a DSL circuit down here that we can let go.
When you say upstairs, you mean in the sheriff's department? Because this computer budget was always separate from whatever was going on upstairs, but now you're combining them? Is that what you're saying? The computer budget was always just for what was up in that little room. It was
Well-
always kept independent from,
With the new system, it'll all be one.
It'll all be
Everybody
one.
will be on the same
okay,
internet. Because those circuits up there will go away,
okay.
that we're paying separately up there.
Okay.
Save money in the long run. Okay.
Yep.
So on your contractual services, I have a note that based on what we spend on the phone system, what, is that going to still be that number or less?
What did you write?
Right above your contractual services, I wrote narrow, based on what we spend on the phone.
Yeah, I think their recurring fee, will be that $3,900 number for the first year, and that includes the warranty and services.
And that's a yearly.
Yeah, and we can cancel that after the first year. We don't have to do that. I mean, that's, the extended warranty just automatically renews. And he said that was one good thing about me asking, was that we need to know about the automatic renewal on that, so we don't get caught and say, hey, why are we still getting billed if we don't
So-
want it?
Can we make this number less then or not?
What is that total number?
59,600.
Well, that includes CIC, all the contracts that are currently with AT&T. So some of that will change, but until we know, then I'd say you better leave that number alone. I'd rather be long next year than short.
This is the cost of this. That's
It's
part of it.
part of it. Yep. Without
Where has CIC been paid out of normally?
out of that account.
Out of the computer fund?
I think so.
All our annual subscription, I don't think so. Not our
20, about 24.
annual subscriptions and those kinds of things, our annual peopleware agreement, and you didn't bring those reports
I
down with you?
didn't.
Okay,
I didn't know if we were talking to me today or not, so.
yeah.
Well, we definitely need to find out where we're paying CIC out of before we sign off on a budget.
Certain that it's coming out of that.
Okay. While she's looking that up, I'm going to go to the bathroom, guys.
Yeah.
Say we'll take a break.